Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio, everybody. What is going on? It is Galeriot here, and today we're back again with another Danmachi Memoria Freese video, and we're going to be showcasing the brand new Hero Festa Bell CRANEL. This is going to be the first showcase of course, 3 showcases that we're going to be doing for the brand new Hero Festa units. So, of course, if you guys go on to enjoy today's video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more Danmachi and Danmemo content, and let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this Bell CRANEL? Do you guys like him? Do you guys dislike him? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, before we get into the showcase itself, I want to actually answer a question that's been, spreading in my comment section quite a bit. A lot of you guys have been asking which one of the 3 is the best Hero Festa. And to answer that question, I don't know. These showcases are done for a reason, and that's for me to understand these units better and to actually see how good they actually are. So I need a little bit more time to identify how good these units are, because to me right now, all 3 of these units are like on an equal platform basically. All 3 of them are very, very good. From my limited usage of them, because I have been using them a little bit in like PvP and PvE, just throwing ragtag teams together for outfit refinements and stuff like that, they seem all very strong. But the problem is, I don't know what makes one unit better than the other just yet. And these showcases and of course testing off stream and off video will help me understand that a lot better, and you'll find out what exactly is the situation when we do the tier list on Sunday. So I would ask you guys to be a little bit patient on that front, to allow me to actually see what these units are like and to actually see how good they actually are. Now let's talk about this Bell CRANEL, and let's talk about how good he actually is. So starting off with his stats, as you can see right here, his stat spread is phenomenal. 2268 magic, 1400 agility, 1185 dexterity, and of course 1004 endurance. We're gonna ignore the strength stat because he is a magic type unit. He is of course of the water element. As expected, we were gonna get a water hero Festa, and Bell is of course our water hero Festa. His stat spread of course is also amplified by CP level, so this is pretty much the best Bell you can get, because my Bell is like CP level 40 on everybody, so he's pretty much maxed out across the board. He looks very, very good stats wise, but what makes him even better and what makes him even more special is his skill set. Let's go over his special arts first and foremost. Ringing Strike. It's an AoE ultra water magic attack, damage plus 40% per each self magic, god rate and counter rate buff skill, and ultra critical rate. So it's very, very powerful, this AoE special arts attack, because it gets up to 240% damage if you have a magic, god rate and counter rate buff from both the adventurer side and the assist side. Furthermore, the ultra critical rate is always very handy. I would have preferred potentially ultra penetration rate, because I feel like penetration is a bit better than critical rate, but this is still fine. He also gives allies magic 120% for 3 turns, and he also removes P-res, M-res debuffs, and also increases any increase where the damage is increased for the allies by AoE and ST attacks. So let's say for example the enemy inflicts a damage increase debuff on us, that is also stripped away. So anything that deals extra damage to us in the form of P-res, M-res debuffs, or damage increasing debuffs, that's all stripped away by this Bell CRANEL. So that's really, really handy for PvP contents. A little less so in PvE contents, because it's rare to see enemies inflicting any sort of like P-res or M-res debuff or damage increasing debuff. It's pretty rare to see that, to be quite honest. So I wouldn't necessarily say that this is like a amazing thing to have, but it's still very, very nice to have, especially going into PvP stages and potentially seeing his special arts go off. It'll help you survive a lot more, and that is the name of the game with this Bell CRANEL, survivability. Because if you look at his first combat skill, Triumphant Return, MP 139, so it costs 139 MP, allies fast magic, god rate, counter rate 40%, and damage received attack type all and single targets minus 40%. So he gives allies god rate, counter rate, and damage reduction as well. All things that you need to go for stall, of course, right? And of course, the magic buff as well is kind of nice, especially if you're running him on a magic team, specifically if you're running him on magic stall. Because if you look at the second half of his first skill, magic, god rate, counter rate plus 80% for himself, and then on top of that, he gives himself fire, earth, and light res plus 80% for 5 turns. He gives himself 80% fire, earth, and light res. He counters units like Hero Festa Elise, the light team. He counters Otaro. He's pretty much cracked out of his mind, giving himself 80% resistance. And then also, mind you, he's also giving himself the damage reduction as well from AoE and single target attacks. He is the definition of stall. he is literally the definition of stall. Then he gives himself a 40% max HP barrier, and then his additional actions from the first skill is a high water magic attack, HP heal 30% of damage, and STR magic agility water res minus 40% on foes, and STR magic agility and water attack damage plus 40% for 3 turns on allies. So his additional action is where the agility control comes into play as well. So if you want to run him on stall and you're going to use him, he's going to be insane because he is the definition of stall, and he can also do agility control as well. I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back to the actual status screen. There we go. I didn't mean to click on the status board, but yes, really strong ability, very good additional action there. The man is insane. He is genuinely insane. Whirlpool Dance Plus is of course his upgraded skill. Of course, if you reach +3 with this bell, this is the skill that will get upgraded. It's an AoE super water magic attack with temporary magic boost and ultra on counter rate, and P-res and M-res minus 40%, and damage received attack type all in single targets plus 30% for 2 turns, and he also removes STR magic agility, endurance, and dexterity buffs. So once again, very much insane. The first part of the skill, and honestly the P-res, M-res, and the damage received is very simple. What makes him even specialer is, or even more special, I should say, specialer is not even an English word, Gale, come on now. What makes him even more special is STR magic agility, endurance, and dexterity buff removal. Again, agility control here. This is really strong for a unit that is meant to be only on stall. He's so versatile already based on his first 2 skills. And then if you look at his third skill, Torrent Blade, it's a single target high water magic attack, damage plus 60% per each self guard rate and counter rate buff skill and ultra penetration rate. So you can get up to 240% basically, sorry, 120, yeah, no, 240% because it's guard rate and counter rate buff skills. But the only issue is it's 240% damage, but the modifier is only high, it's not super. So that means the damage is going to be about the same as, let's say, for example, a super 180% or 200% basically. It's going to be in and around there. The high modifier does bring it down a little bit. These are his passives, of course. That's the combination essays. We'll move on from there. These are his passives. Liaris Freeze, of course, Null Charm, Water Manifestation, Fire Res plus 45%, which means, yes, you read that right, he's gonna have 125% Fire Res basically. Insane unit, insane unit. All status plus 35%, so that's why he's got such good stats as well overall. When countering, STR and magic debuffs minus 3 turns for himself, which is really strong as well, allows him to deal extra damage. Dragon Killer as well, and then these are his abilities that he gets at +1 and +5 respectively. So True Strike is damage plus 25% upon crit and penetration, which is great. More damage is always very nice. And then Protection F is P-res and M-res 25%, as if he didn't have enough defenses already. So yeah, there you go. That is Bell CRANEL in a nutshell. Now right now I've given him Magic Hestia Knife, and of course if you have watched my video on Hestia Knife versus Magic Hakugen, you'll know, of course I would go and advise you guys to watch that video so you guys to get to know more details about which one is exactly better and why it's better. But of course, if you guys already know, you know that of course Magic Hakugen is better in the case of war games, and of course Magic Hestia Knife is better in the case of course PvE contents like 7 Zone, Record Buster, and so on and so forth. So for now, because we're going to be going into of course war games, we're going to use Magic Hakugen as an example. And this is the team I have built for him. This is a bit more of a stall team focus. Of course, it's not perfect in any shape or form, to be quite honest. I wish I would have had more damage reduction based assists more so in this situation. It's something I simply do not have. I do not have the facilities for that. So right now, we can't really use him in his best case scenario, I feel. But I feel like he's still going to be an extremely versatile unit. I was using him on this team for just testing purposes. It was just a random ragtag team I brought together, and he was doing fairly well. So I feel like there is a potential for this unit to still be really strong. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 runs in normal war games, and then we're going to go on to the ladder and we're going to try it out against some other players in the ladder itself. And then what we'll do is we'll go and take him into a PvE stage as well to get an idea on how good he actually is. So let's check this out and see what he's capable of doing. So of course this is very stall focused, right? Like I said, very much stall focused. You're meant to basically make sure that the team is capable of effectively surviving, hence why we brought in Haruhime as well to give us that P-res, M-res buff as well. And of course, as a result as well, we're able to effectively do really well basically there, which is really fantastic. So that is the reason why I wanted to bring a stall team together, because he will fit extremely well alongside Hero Festa Ryu and various others. What I'm actually going to do here as well to make sure we are going at a little bit of a slower rate, I'm going to put an Ontario actually on Vesta, so that she goes last basically, because the idea is we want to ensure that, you know, the agility buffs that the enemy has is gone effectively. That's gone. The only thing that's missing in this team is like somebody to increase the agility on turn 1. I would say that is the main thing I think that this team is really missing. What you can do as well, that is that of course you can use probably Ryu to use her second skill rather than her first skill, but I would say for using her first skill is always kind of worth it, to be quite honest. So let's check out Bell. He's gonna use his ability here. His additional action went off there, so we're going up against another Bell actually, funnily enough. Ahmed is actually not a bad option. I just noticed Ahmed on this guy's team. Ahmed is also not a bad option to go alongside this Bell. If I remember what she does exactly, we'll have to check it out in a bit. But I think Ahmed is not a bad option whatsoever. You could use Ahmed as well to good effect, to be quite honest, and use her to a good capability. This guy is using all the Hero Festas. Isn't that, that's Eyes, I think, right? Yeah, that was Eyes. Damn, we managed to get rid of that. I want to see what limit breaks he had on the Eyes and Bell, to be quite honest, because that was a lot closer than I was hoping it would be, to be quite honest. I was kind of a bit worried there. Okay, +3 and +2 and just 3 hero ascension, 3 pink stars. I was a bit worried there. I was like a little bit shaky. I was a little bit shaky, and I was like, damn. The damage is a little bit high, but yeah, that water Ahmed, this water Ahmed is actually not a bad idea to probably run alongside that Bell CRANEL, to be quite honest, especially because they'd kind of flow together really well, to be quite honest, with the water supportability and everything. It should be a good idea in theory, of course. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. So let's see how they fare now. And Triumphant Return, there we go. Sakuna, I'm curious, it's using Triumphant Return again. I'm curious to see if, is it because that buff is going away or something? I might need to change his setting. Because I feel like he shouldn't be using Triumphant Return again and again and again. So let's, we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So we let go of that, thank God about that. Alright, let's see here. Triumphant Return again. He's using Triumphant Return again and again and again. I want him to use a second skill. So let's try and do something else maybe. See if there's something we can do in that regards. Maybe is there another setting that works a little bit better for him? Maybe balance. We'll try him on balance and see what he does there. Maybe balance might be the one that, you know, actually allows him to use his ability in more effectively, right? Makes him a little bit better in going from skill 1 to skill 2. So let's try that out. We're gonna do 2 more runs and then we're gonna switch over to the ladder itself. Again, this is the way I like to do my showcases, is to just test these units out for the first time in a completely unique team that I've never seen before, so that I can get a better understanding of how good these units actually are. So he uses Whirlpool Dance on his okay, on balance he uses that, which is not surprising, to be quite honest. I'm not acting like I'm surprised or anything, to be quite honest. I wasn't like not expecting it, to be quite honest. This was something I was expecting for fairly, to be quite honest. But the real thing is, why does he then use why did he use Triumphant Return multiple times? Maybe his debuffs or his buffs were getting removed, and as a result he was reapplying it consistently. Maybe that's what it was. Let's try again. Maybe if we fight against another person, we'll see in a better scenario maybe what he does, because it's kind of weird that he's sticking with skill 1 again and again and again, because that's not something I've seen him do technically. That fight was a little bit weird. So let's try it here. Let's see what he does. Is it because of maybe Ahmed? Maybe it might be because of Ahmed. Let's see what happens right now, because we're gonna get to turn 2, and we know that the rest of the team isn't gonna go first. So let's see. This will be telling. This will be very telling in my personal opinion. So let's see. Carmine Ware, Bestowed Rain, Whirlpool Dance. Okay, so he did use it there. Okay, kind of weird in that regards. Then I was kind of surprised that he was using Triumphant Return again and again and again in that previous fight. But there you go, really solid unit. Again, this is, I feel like Bell isn't going to be the damage dealing unit. He's going to be that stall unit or that supporting unit who'll be there on the field to help protect the team from a little bit of damage coming their way, to be quite honest. Now let's take a glance at Stormy first and foremost. He's got a pretty interesting team, very much focused towards nullifying physical attacks. He's of course got Vesta as well, to obviously remove the agility buffs and everything. But what he doesn't know is I have the counter to his Eyes. So the thing is, right, his eyes will theoretically go after my Vesta if it was not equipped with an Ontario. If it wasn't equipped with an Ontario, we would have been seeing eyes go first. But because we had an Ontario, we made sure that we removed eyes as buffs basically. So that's gonna help us a little bit as well. Vesta goes down, we get Estrella, so that's fine, which will also protect us. Beautiful there. So now we bring in this Triumphant Return goes off, beautiful, and now we can just use Starlink to our heart's content. Beautiful. So we're bringing in characters from the back now. Ignition Oath, there we go. Soul Recall, Shiny Bloom is gonna hurt a little bit. Ooh, now this is a bit of a bad scenario. Okay, this isn't what I was expecting, because now I'm stuck because there's no units on the field. Oh, maybe. Oh no, never mind. They had a lot more nulls than I thought. Let's see how much damage this does. 6,400. Wow. And he's gonna get a special arts off. Please be Otarl. Yes, he does it on Otarl. Come on, it's gonna just like 0 damage. Yes, it actually did 0 damage. I wasn't expecting 0 damage, literally. Ah, damn it. I can't believe Nocturnal Elf for you was the one to KO Bell. But that was, again, a good showing of Bell being strong. I think it's just my team isn't good enough in this point in time to, you know, showcase them in the best light. And in fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a teaser of what my team is capable of doing. So we're gonna go up against the same enemy. We're gonna go up against Stormy, but we're gonna use my team actually. We're gonna use this team, and I want to see how it fares. So this is the team that I've been running a little bit, and I don't know how effective it is, to be quite honest, in the higher ranks. This is the first time I'm taking the team into a higher rank. I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how good it actually is. I just threw the Hero Festas together to see how good they'd actually be. And yeah, I mean, Belt wasn't even required there. This is the reason why I didn't want to use this team. Again, you'll see probably a variation of this team in tomorrow's videos, of course, or the videos that we'll have later on. Bell didn't even get a chance to shine, to be quite honest. Bell didn't even get a chance to shine. So that's the reason why I didn't want to use that team. But yeah, Bell isn't being shown in the best light there, I feel. So we're gonna use the normal teams. I'm not gonna go up against this team because it clearly will dominate, of course, right? I feel like Magic can destroy the Sol team, so especially the newly improved Magic team, of course, right? I think the new Magic team can destroy anything, to be quite honest. I think that's the thing. So let's go up against somebody a little bit lower, maybe. Shadowbone, maybe we can go up against him. He's got a, okay, yeah, we can do this, we can try this out. We'll try this out and see how we fare. But yeah, again, like I said, this Bell looks very, very insane. We're gonna take him into a PvE stage right now as well, so that you guys can see him in PvE contents. Thankfully, the 7th zone this week does feature a fire 7th zone, so we're gonna be able to show Bell in a very, very good light there. So that'll be very fantastic for us, and we're gonna check him out alongside, of course, the likes of Reveria and stuff like that as well. So it's gonna be pretty darn cool. Let's see what we're cooking up against here. This is gonna be very interesting. Triumphant Return. It's weird that he's using Triumphant Return, man. I'm a bit surprised about that. I'm not gonna lie. I am a little bit surprised about that. The fact that he's using Triumphant Return is pretty much what's killing him. I wonder why that is the case. It's very interesting that he's using it. Is it because the enemy is debuffing them, removing his buffs or something, and he's just wanting to use Triumphant Return again and again and again? It's weird in that regards. I feel like that is gonna, if the AI is taking advantage of that and takes him down like that, that's where he's gonna lose out a little bit. So maybe some issues with the AI potentially, by the way. Also, by the way, if you want to make sure you guys do your 5 war games a day, by the way, for the 6th anniversary exchange. It is very, very important you guys do that, okay? Very, very important. All right, let's go to the fire zone and let's do some testing now. Let's actually test him in a proper scenario. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Ryu once again here. 1 second, we'll do that. We'll give everybody stun anklets as well, so that they're ready to go and rock and roll in this zone as well. Because remember, 7th zone always has basically a form of stun effectively, so you want to make sure you're ready for that. Basically, you want to make sure you are ready for that. All right, Bell has stun res as well, which is great. Haruhime, which one do you have? Let me check. Sleep res. We'll need to change that. We need to change that most certainly. There we go. Stun anklet, beautiful. Now let's take this fight on and let's see what we're capable of doing. So this is what we want to run. Yeah, this looks right. Let's run this and we'll see how well does Bell actually do? It's going to be very interesting, of course. Thanks to the new Reveria, we actually have a great partner for this Bell already, right? In the form of a great supporting unit. Now we can kind of see why this Reveria was released in the first place. Arguably, we can kind of see why she was. And it's great. I like the fact that we've got a unit that we can see why she was basically brought into the game effectively and why she was brought in the first place. I don't know if you're on EX or not. I don't think we are. We're gonna go up slowly but surely, I guess. We'll go slowly but surely upwards and onwards. Let's do this, I think. Yeah, we'll do this. Yeah, we'll do Shining Aqua, basically. There we go. To make sure we get the debuffs, the buffs going, basically. There we go. Let me check the icon. Yeah, we were on normal, 100%. There is no way we were on EX. I was about to say, there is no shot we were on EX. I refuse to believe we were on EX. Yeah, okay, let's go to EX straight away. I'm not gonna waste your guys' time or my time. We're gonna go straight to EX, and we're gonna see how well this Bell actually does. Alright, so let's see here now. So Dawn Wind, we're gonna do Frozen Chill, Spiral Flux, and we'll do this. Triumphant Return. There we go. Alright. Getting some damage reduction as well, which will help us out tremendously as well in terms of taking less damage, of course, right, from the enemies. Now we'll do Militus Missio, Diamond Lance, Rampaging Mist, and Whirlpool Dance. There we go. Come on. Show me the goods. Show me the goods. Alright. We can see the damage coming out here. What we're gonna do, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a little bit something a little bit cheeky. I'm gonna use Bell's special arts immediately here to be able to see what the damage is looking like, basically, from Bell on his own as a single target ability. So let's try that out and let's see what he cooks, basically. Let's see what he can cook. So yeah, we're gonna stick with this. Ringing Strike. Let's see how much damage he does here. How much is he gonna do? 1.8 million is not bad. Remember that, you know, one, I haven't changed from Magic Hessian Knife. We will be testing on the Magic Hessian Knife in a moment as well. And second of all, he didn't have his own Magic 120% buff as well. So he would be around 2 million basically with everything being said and done. It's not bad, I would say. It's not amazing, I will say this. It's not amazing. I think there are more amazing damage outputs. But like, I would still say 1.8 million is not the worst. We'll see more in just a moment, I feel, right? With, of course, the other Reverias and stuff attacking as well and potentially launching their special arts, specifically the 3rd anniversary of Lafia as well. We can then compare and contrast, you know, how good these units actually are as well. So let's see, maybe, yeah, we'll definitely be able to get a double special arts hopefully soon. There we go, come on. Yaozu's going off, beautiful. Let's see there. What is it looking like? No counters on Bell as well. Remember that Bell is unlikely to get counters as well, which makes him even a little less 1.3 million on his 3rd skill is actually not bad at all. I will say that. One thing to note is Bell is unlikely to counter that much in game modes like 7 Zone or, you know, where he basically has a type advantage against like fire enemies and stuff. Because like I said at the start of the video, 125% fire res, by the way, this guy has. He is insane. He is genuinely the definition of insane. So let's see now what he does with, of course, a double special arts. And of course, now that he has his 120% magic buff, let's see what he's doing. 3.22 million. Let's see what Bell does. We have 3.22 million from a buffed up anniversary. 2.84 million. It's a little less than I thought. I thought he would have hit 3.3 or 3.2 as well. I thought he was going to be on the same level as Reveria, to be quite honest. Because remember, he does have a basically he does get a 240% damage buff. But that being said, though, actually, one second before we continue on. Let's see Bell's buffs right now, right? So he gets God Rate and Counter Rate and Magic buff. Of course, we've seen that already, right? He gets all 3 of those already from the Adventurer side, as you can see right here. God Rate, Counter Rate, Magic. And then if you scroll down a little bit, right? This is going to be the Assist skill side. So let's take a look at the Assist skill. Okay, so we were missing on a God Rate buff. Okay, we need to try and incorporate a God Rate buff in some way, shape, or form. I have no idea how that's going to happen. We're going to have to figure that out. But that is why his damage was a little less. We're going to try that out again, and we're going to see how good he actually hits for in just a moment. Because we're losing out on, well, we're losing out on 60% here from his 3rd skill. And we're missing on 40% on his special arts as well. Which, again, that is significant damage you're missing out on, technically. That is significant damage you're missing out on, technically. So we're gonna give it a shot again. We're gonna give it a shot again, and we're gonna see how good he actually is once again, to just get an idea on whether or not he's actually any good, of course. So we'll give that a whirl and see how he does. One thing we can do in order to get the god rate, right? I have a couple of ideas. Potentially. So one way we can go about it is, instead of her, we can probably bring in a unit that does give STR and magic, because the main reason I brought that eyes was to give us STR and magic, and of course the SA gate charge. I think we can get away with the SA gate charge. I'm gonna bring her in because she does give allies god rate, and I think that'll be good enough. I think you can also obviously use the likes of potentially maybe units like Loki, for example, the new Loki that we got from the first part of the anniversary, right? Because she gives god rate and counter rate as well. The only issue is, well, we could do this actually. One second. How about this? All right, we'll do this instead. I have another idea. We'll do this instead. I know we're losing out on the MP, but technically we're gonna get the MP back thanks to Haruhime. So we're gonna stick with this, I think. We're gonna stick with this, and we're gonna see how we fare, basically. This is gonna give a better idea on exactly how good Belle is going to be, because we've got god rate and counter rate buffs now going for us as well. So that's gonna help us out tremendously. So let's use Frozen Orb, Spiral Flux, and Triumphant Return. The only thing we're really lacking in now is because, of course, we're not taking in Ollie in. We're losing out on the MP regen, basically, right? That's the only thing we're really missing out on. But I think that's okay. I think that'll be fine for now. We can pretty much focus on that in the next settings. Basically, we can focus on that. We can figure it out in the future and see if there's any better options potentially in that slot. Sakuna, Piercing Chill, Shining Aqua. We'll use Bell Special Arts here, and we'll see how much damage he gets here. Actually, I completely forgot. We'll see how much more damage he does here. 2.1 million. We've already seen an increase by nearly 300,000 damage, I think it was. Because I remember on turn 3 when we hit it was 1.8 million. So already seeing a 300,000 damage on a single target attack without any buffs or anything, it's a great boost as well. But that was also with Magic Hakugen. We're gonna restart again, and we're gonna give him the Hestia knife. We're gonna give him the Hestia knife, and we're gonna see how well he actually does here. So Magic Dagger, where it is? Where's Magic Hestia knife? There it is. We're gonna see how well he actually performs here. I don't think it's gonna be a huge difference. Like, he's not gonna get like 500,000 damage magically because he's got the Magic Hestia knife, but he will certainly deal a little bit more damage for sure, and that adds up. Remember, at the end of the day, what matters most is being able to try and actually deal the most damage possible. So the more damage you deal, the better. It's as simple as that, right? It's as simple as that. So let's do this. All right, but yeah, like I said, Bell is not gonna get any counters off, so we may as well just debuff the enemy and avoid taking any damage, I guess, in the end of it all, for everybody else basically as well, in all honesty. So let's do this. I meant to use Diamond Lance there. Oh well, that's okay. We'll use the special arts here now, and let's see what he's capable of doing. My boy Bell, how much damage are you gonna do now? Let's see. 2.12 million. Again, I like I said, it will be in and around that. It'll depend on, like, obviously high roll, low roll, and stuff like that. It's not going to make a huge difference in terms of damage. I wasn't expecting that much of a difference in terms of damage, but it's good to note anyways. It is good to note anyways that, you know, this is the case basically. So let's use Migiri here for the Piercing Chill, Spiral Flux, and Torrent Blade. Let's see how much Torrent Blade does now. I'm very curious to see the damage on Torrent Blade. 1.58 million. It's not bad. It's not bad whatsoever. It's really good even, I would say. It's really, really nice. Very, very strong ability, I feel like. Very, very strong. Alright, there we go. We will use a Yaozu here. We'll use Piercing Chill, Spiral Flux, Torrent Blade. There we go. Alright. 1.64 million. Yeah, that was needed. That god rate, and you can see when you have that buff slash debuff going, the damage difference is automatically a world apart, to be honest. Remember, this adds up. All of this adds up. The damage that we're dealing here, it adds up. So you want to try and actually you know, be able to, you know, deal as much damage as possible, and this is the best way to do it, is by, you know, making sure that you're able to get the additional bonuses that you need for your unit, right? The god rate buffs, the magic buffs, whatever they need, you want to try and get them going. Basically, you want to try and get them going, of course. So now we can use the special arts with Bell and Riveria. I think now I expect to see Bell dealing a little bit more damage than Reveria potentially. So 3.42 million. Reveria pulled off something insane there as well. Let's see what Bell does. 3.0 million. Again, I thought it would have been a bit more. I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting a little bit more there. I was expecting a bit like 100,000, 200,000 at least more there. But oh well, it doesn't seem like that's the case, I guess, at all. Let's see what he does here now. Come on, bro. The counters. Are we gonna kill on the counters? Let's see. Are you serious? He's literally on like a sliver of health, man. Come on. There we go. We got him in the end. He was on a sliver of health. He was on a sliver of health. But there you guys go. There's Bell for you in PvE contents as well. I think he'll be very solid on his own, to be quite honest. I think he's going to be really strong as well. But I think his shining moments will primarily be in war games, where you put him on the right team and he will perform to a high level. He's gonna be an unbelievable unit against the fire magic teams, of course the earth stall teams and stuff like that. He's gonna be an unbelievable option against those teams. It's just a matter of making sure that you have the units surrounding him in order to combat those teams. I think that's what's going to make the big difference for you if you do have Bell CRANEL. Now, of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and of course, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, hit that notification button as well next to the subscribe button. You'll get notified as to when the next video goes live. Of course, if you want to see the next showcase video, you'll get to know it there. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.